Hello everyone, and welcome back. In the last video, we explored the relationship between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Now, where does generative AI come into the picture? As you might have guessed, generative AI is a subset of deep learning. It leverages the deep learning neural networks we discussed earlier to understand training data, learn from it, and then create new content. Once again, the key distinction here is the word generative, or the ability to create something new. Conventional systems typically operate like this. You provide training data, the model learns from it, and then it either makes predictions, classifies data, or performs tasks like language processing or computer vision. For instance, we've previously talked about training a machine learning model with numerous images of apples, and then asking it to identify if a given image contains an apple or not. Conventional AI is designed to do just that. It's built to learn and operate based on this kind of training. Generative AI, however, operates differently. We still feed it a large amount of training data, significantly more than what we would provide to a conventional AI system. And based on this data and the neural networks working behind the scenes, it can generate entirely new content, whether it's text, images, or even videos. Taking the same example from before, instead of just identifying an apple, we would now train a generative AI model on the same dataset of apple images and ask it to create an image of an apple. It can generate a new image. This image isn't coming from the millions of images the model was trained on. It's not about extracting data. It's about generating new content based on what the model has learned. That is what generative AI does. It creates new content, whether it's text, images, audio, or video, using artificial intelligence. Hopefully, this concept is now crystal clear. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into how generative AI works, its behind-the-scenes mechanisms, and its applications. But for now, I want you to keep 3 important things in mind from the past few videos. First, to make machines intelligent and accurate, we need to train them on large volumes of data. There's a phrase we often use in machine learning: garbage in, garbage out. If you feed poor quality data to your machine learning model, you'll get bad results. Conversely, if you provide high quality, diverse, and abundant data, your results will be much more accurate. The second key takeaway is that high computational power is essential. We've already discussed this. Since we are feeding these models large amounts of data and using complex neural networks, and expecting quick responses like those from Google Gemini, the computational power behind the scenes must be vast and capable of processing the data rapidly. Finally, the third point is about how we interact with machine learning models. Nowadays, users, including myself, don't want to type a query into Google, get a list of 15 documents, and sift through them. Those days are behind us. Instead, we prefer conversational interactions, where I can ask a simple question and get a direct answer. Moreover, I want to ask follow-up questions in context. For example, if I ask, "What is the heaviest animal on Earth?" and get the answer, "the Antarctic blue whale," I should then be able to ask, "How much food does it require per day?" The system should understand I'm still referring to the Antarctic blue whale and give me the answer to that question. It should recognize the context and respond accordingly. So, remember these 3 points as we continue through this course and discuss the different approaches and details of generative AI. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.